Alright everybody, it's time to talk about 5 brand new DC Finest titles and 7 updates to the collected editions list. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright folks, first up is Team Up's Chase to the End of Time. This is the first of the 5 DC Finest announcements, which is collecting the DC Comics Presents 1978 run from 1 to 14, and the Brave and the Bold 1995 141 to 155, 560 pages, all for $39.99, coming out on the 18th of March. Next up, we got a big one that I have been asking for years, and hopefully we'll get an omnibus at some point. But until then, we have Batgirl Nobody Dies Tonight trade paperback, which collects issues 7 through 27 of Cassandra Cain's 2000 solo run, Superboy 85, and Supergirl 63 by Peter David and Joe Kelly. So this is at 552 pages, coming out on the 8th of April. I would assume that the volume before this would be the No Man's Land select issues with Cassandra Cain in it, along with Batgirl issues 1 through 6. Next up, we got DC Events, the second part of the 0 Hour Omnibus. Yes, all of these issues, which include Flash 0, Green Arrow 90, Adventures of Superman 516, JLA 92, Action Comics 703, all in the price for $39.99 at 600 pages. So if you are looking for a cheaper alternative, instead of buying that $175 omnibus, they are putting this out in a 6-month time frame difference for all those who are wondering. So if you are going to get number 1, you should get number 2 of this as well. I'm very excited to see what they do next for DC Events in and of thereof. So very, very excited for this collection. Next up, we got Superboy, the super dog from Krypton. Now, that is crypto, but this also does collect some of Clark's earlier adventures as Superboy, which are from Action Comics 266 and 277, Superman 142, 143, and 147, Superman girlfriend Lois Lane 19 through 28, and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 47 through 56. $39.99, 600 pages. This is coming out on the 13th of May. And last but not least, we got Batman, The Killing Joke, and Other Stories. This is the last of the 5 titles that we are going to get. $39.99 at 600 pages. This is coming out on the 20th of May. And this is going to include the Alan Moore Brian Bolland Killing Joke one-shot, Batman 413 through 422, which contains a lot of great stories written by Jim Starlin and drawn by Jim Aparo. Detective Comics 580 to 589, which does include some Norm Breyfogle art and Alan Grant as well on the writing with John Wagner. And Batman, Son of the Demon, number 1 by Mike W. Barr. And yes, that is Batman, the Son of the Demon, which did directly influence the Grant Morrison run of Batman. If you guys haven't checked out comicreleases.com yet, this is the number 1 resource and tool of information for all upcoming collected editions and release date updates. It also has all the details, your major retailers, and of course what it collects in every single one of these issues. And for just the low price of $2 a month, you can add these issues to your watch list. Again, just $2 a month, but if not, it is a free resource to check up on tabs nonetheless. Alright folks, let's go ahead and talk about the DC Finest trade paperbacks that just got their contents updated, and I didn't get to talk about in the last video because those weren't in those issues. The first one is going to be Plastic Man, the origin of Plastic Man, which is collecting the quality comics that are going to be published inside of these books for reprint purposes. Police Comics 1 through 36 and Plastic Man 1944 1 through 2 are going to be in this trade paperback of DC Finest. Next up, we got Suicide Squad Trial by Far, which is going to be about a half-ish of the Suicide Squad by John Ostrander Volume 1 Omnibus, whenever that drops. So, Suicide Squad 1987 1 through 10, Secret Origins 1 through 14, Detective Comics 582, Fury of Firestorm 62 to 64, Firestorm the Nuclear Man Annual number 5, Legends numbers 1 through 6, and Millennium number 4. I'm always very interested with these specifically because sometimes the mapping in these trade paperbacks are a little bit different than what they do in the omnibus. I remember the JSA by Jeff Johns trade paperbacks having a very completely different reading order than the correctly mapped JSA by Jeff Johns omnibuses that were out. So The corroboration and the differences, I think, are going to be interesting to see here. Whether they do go the same route of the way that we map the DC Finest is going to be the way that we map the Omnibus later on, or if it's going to be flip-flopped. If it's the Omnibus that's going to follow or have the Suicide Squad DC Finest collections, are they going to have the same mapping there? So I'm very interested to see how that all pans out. Next up, we got Harley Quinn Birth of the Mirth trade paperback. This is 624 pages, $39.99, coming in. Man, this is a big one. Action Comics 765, Legends of the Dark Knight 126, Batman Adventures 12, Azrael, Agent of the Bat, number 60, Batman 570 and 573 to 574, Shadow of the Bat number 93, Detective Comics 737, 740, and 741, Catwoman 82 through 84 and 89, Batman Adventures Mad Love number 1, Batgirl Adventures number 1, Batman Harley Quinn number 1, Batman Gotham Knights number 14, and Harley Quinn 2000 1 through 8, which is the start of the Carl Kessel and Terry Dodson run. My guess is that they are going to continue Harley Quinn in this DC Finest format with the rest of the Kessel-Dodson run and her 2000s appearances of course, the lovely Harleen Quinzel. Next up, we got Teen Titans The Judas Contract. This is going to collect Action Comics 546, World's Finest Comics 300, The New Teen Titans 33 through 40, NTT Annual number 2, Tales of the Teen Titans 41 through 47, Tales of the Teen Titans Annual number 3, and Vigilante number 3 as well. Next up, we got Doom Patrol, The World's Strangest Heroes, coming in with The Brave and the Bold 65, Doom Patrol 86 to 102, Challengers of the Unknown 48, My Greatest Adventure 80 to 85, and Teen Titans number 6. Next up, we got Charlton Comics being published. I cannot believe this, that DC was able to find ways to get the license to reprint some of these quality and Charlton Comics in for these collected editions. Now, this also will double dip a bit with the Suicide Squad trade paperback because, of course, Peacemaker shows up there too. But if you want a Peacemaker-centric DC Finest, you probably should go along with this. And also for all the people who are big fans of the John Cena show, I know I definitely was. This is something that you will want to pick up on that note. This is going to collect Fightin' 5, 1964, 40, 41, Suicide Squad 1987, 27 through 30, Checkmate 16 through 26, 28 and 32 through 33, Eclipso 11 through 13, Showcase 93, 6 through 11, Peacemaker 1 through 4, The Vigilante 36 through 38 and 41 through 43, as well as the Peacemaker 1988 run by DC and not Charlton, issues 1 through 5. So big one here. Just again, if you are buying both Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, it will double dip because again, he is part of that team. Next and last is Superman Family, the Giant Turtle Man, collecting issues, Action Comics 266 and 277, Superman 142 to 143 and 147, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane 19 through 28, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 47 through 56. And that's going to be it for the video. I am really excited to see how these are all going to be mapped and how are these all going to drop. Let me know in the comments section if you were astounded by any of the 5 books that just got issued out by DC, or if any of the contents of the previous 7 books that I talked about also interest you. Let me know down in the comments below. But that's going to be it for this video. You be you, take care, and dominate the day wherever you are.